days when things were easy, when time was short and I was sure. I fought the tide and drowned in misery. Yeah, wish I could leave, wish I could leave. If there is a place where I belong, don't shed your tears when I am gone, when I am gone. I've seen it all on TV screens, but this is not a movie scene. I held my head high and left the embassy. Wish they'd believe, oh, wish they'd believe. If there is a place where I belong, don't shed your tears when I am gone, when I am gone. When I am gone.
Wow, Alextbh.
Woohoo! Welcome to our studio, Alex.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Have a seat. I love that song
too.
because it reminds me of 80s.
I was gonna say, it's got this
Right?
retro kind of vibe.
That's exactly the vibe that I was looking for.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
So tell us about this this song that you've just released, because each song has a story. What about this?
Of course, I think for this song, it was back in 2018.
Oh, that's a long time ago. That was 6 years
I
ago.
know, many, many years ago. So I'm
5,
excited to have the
yeah.
song to be finally out, you know. So yeah, 2018, I was at the US Embassy trying to apply for a tourist visa,
Right.
but I was rejected because they said that I was too young, and then they were scared that I might just move there illegally and like not ever come back to Malaysia.
Seriously?
Oh, that explains the
know.
visuals we saw about the
Yeah.
application being rejected.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it really. So I was sad, but you know, I wrote a song about it.
Oh, there you go. That's the way musicians processes their emotions.
And you'd be surprised what
Yes.
sort of things trigger creativity in
Absolutely.
music. So, is this your first time in Indonesia, by the way?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been to Bali before and I've been to Jakarta, but only for a night, so does that really count?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
but also, yeah, it's nicer if you could get a longer stay.
Yeah.
You get a better feel of the city.
Yeah.
So, what was your impression? I mean, you've been here before, but what's your impression of Indonesia? And if you could name any song to describe Indonesia, what would it be?
Jodoh Pasti Bertemu
Jodoh,
by
I like
Afghan.
it. They're neighbors, you know? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Exactly.
similarities as well.
Exactly.
And here I am in Indonesia.
I feel
so
the same way
It is
whenever I
Jodoh.
travel to Malaysia, by the way.
Yes.
Like a lot of the foods are similar, but
Oh,
not
yeah.
quite the same. And there's only certain things you can
Like nasi lemak and nasi
Yeah.
uduk.
Very
No, but
similar.
they're different maybe.
different but the same.
Different but the same. There you go. Yes, your debut album, It's All
Yes.
Good. Tell us
Yeah.
about it. Why is it called It's All Good? Because it's, you know, it's usually one of the songs, right? But you particularly choose It's All Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I wanted an album that kind of reminds me that, and everybody, I guess, that like, despite how the world really is and how reality seems to be like a very depressing place to be in, I try to like be optimistic about it and still have hope that, you know, there are people out here that really do want to make this world a better place. And it's good to acknowledge the negative feelings that we have
Yeah.
in order to kind of move on. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it's all good.
Is it?
It is all good. I mean, it's not all good, but we can make ourselves feel good sometimes, you know, by yesterday, because you're telling us about, yes, the world is looking kind of messy at the moment with all of the wars, but at the same time, we need to find that optimism. Just yesterday, Paul, I was in a taxi running my errands, and then what I do usually, I would just look out of the window and just observe people's faces. And there was one that made me smile. There was a father with a baby just outside a ruko, and the father was kissing the baby's forehead and also like sniffing or smelling
I
the
do that all the
hair,
time.
right?
Babies smell great.
And he closed his eyes and he really enjoyed it. And I was like, that is beautiful. That made me smile, that human connection between father and daughter. It's like, oh,
And you wouldn't have seen that the last few years because we're
Yeah.
in the middle of a pandemic, which happened to be when you wrote most of these songs for your album as well. What was that like? Because a lot of times when you write, a lot of what you're going through has a lot to do with your contribution and your mood and what you're writing about. But writing in the middle of a pandemic, I mean, that happens once in a lifetime, if at all. Did that change your outlook on how this album felt? Because
Yeah.
you know, you weren't, like Marissa said, you know, nowadays you can see people's expressions and you can feel things, but at that time you couldn't even see anyone's faces.
Yeah.
You couldn't connect with
Yeah.
people as much as you could now.
yeah.
That's a really good question, actually. I think during the pandemic, I really wanted to write a lot of songs because I think for me, it's the only way I can like talk about my feelings and emotions. And I think like during the pandemic, everyone like kind of like loses like some kind of human connection.
Very much.
Yes.
So I feel like the only way I can connect is through music. You know, as cheesy as it sounds, it's kind of true.
It is not cheesy at all. It's a form of art. So your tracks Never Enough, that draws inspiration from a moment when you couldn't pay for groceries due to the decline card. I mean,
You write a lot of your songs because of rejection, but not because of like love rejections. Rejection from a visa,
rejection from grocery stores. You know?
Yep.
What happened there?
Yeah, I was declined. My card was declined, and I was just trying to like pay for like drinks.
Right.
And that really like set a lot of things into motion and like kind of like, yeah, you know, these few years I have been like slightly delusional, but it's time to kind of have a bit of reality check. And like by reality check, I mean like get my finances checked, you know. But yeah, Never Enough is kind of like about living in a life that kind of feels like a simulation, and like how you kind of just want to like escape the rat race, really.
Because no matter what
Wow.
it's like being in the Matrix. It's like no matter
I
what
was
you
gonna
do,
say.
you just keep on doing it, and you
Exactly,
just keep
and
going
like,
in circle.
yeah, and you have the blue pill, the red pill, and then you take the red pill, but like you see the reality of it all, and like, is it really worth it? So
Yeah.
things like that, you know.
Never
Yeah.
enough. I like that. It's
Yeah.
a different outlook on things.
I mean, that film, The Matrix, and I guess your song as well, are very relevant even until now, because we keep struggling with that. Do we run away from reality, or do we face the reality?
You taking the
do
blue
we
pill or
sit
the red
with-
pill, by the way?
I sometimes take the blue pills, I sometimes take the red pill, you know,
It's true.
it depends, right?
Depends on what day you ask me.
Exactly.
Right. So this is a question that we had in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Why Alextbh?
TBH is to be honest, right?
Yeah, that's correct. well, Honestly, it's because like I was on SoundCloud and I was just trying to come up with like a name.
Okay.
And I didn't want like my birth name because it's a bit too long. So and I say TBH a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
I thought it was because a lot of your songs have a lot to do, like you're being very transparent about the things that you go through. Like a lot of these songs, like sometimes you say, oh, it's a love song, it's based on my breakup.
Yeah.
But your experiences are very real to me because it's stuff that happens to us as well, right?
Yes.
So I thought it had something more to do with that, like
Yes.
you just being honest about yourself, and it just comes through that way through your music. Well, maybe that can be your answer from now on.
Yeah, or a trademark as well. So that got me curious.
Yeah.
What is the most recent happening in your life that made you think, maybe I should write this
Yeah.
into a song?
I was on a bike ride. I don't get on motorbikes a lot because my mom has like trauma with that, and I kind of got passed down to me for some reason.
Oh,
so
okay.
Not a fan of motorbikes, but I went on one with my friend, and then we just cruised around the city, and it made me feel really carefree, and I haven't felt like that in a long time. So
See?
yeah.
Very, very relatable because me as well. When I'm in a car, I'm so paranoid about motorcycles.
Right.
But then, I started riding a
Yes.
motorcycle to work. I love it. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, open air. The city is beautiful. I'm seeing things I've never seen before normally.
Oh,
when I'm in
Yeah,
a car.
it's things that you never like think about before, like being on
Yeah.
a bike. Something as mundane as that, but it completely changes your view on things.
Absolutely. Well, there's nothing mundane about being on a motorbike in Bali. I always enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the one place where you'll do it. Okay, well, before we continue this conversation, we've got a little bit of surprise for
Yes.
Alex.
Oh.
All right, so
Yes,
let's
because
get right to
Malaysia
it.
and Indonesia are neighbors.
Yes.
Going on.
Here we have
Similar
our
foods.
production crew. So we have 3 selections here that we would. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. And first of all, can you describe what any of these are?
Yes.
What any of these are?
Oh my.
These are
God.
Indonesian breakfasts, kind of.
Kind of.
Just had this, but this is like on a gado-gado last night.
Oh, the kerupuk, you mean?
Yeah, the keropok.
The kerupuk, the crackers.
Yeah.
Crackers, okay.
Yeah, but what about the dish itself?
It looks very similar to something that you guys have over there too in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Usually it's served on a leaf.
Oh, yeah.
Nasi lemak.
Yeah, it's very similar to nasi
Oh.
lemak.
Very similar to nasi
When I go
lemak.
to Malaysia, when I have nasi lemak, it reminds me very much of this is called nasi uduk. So the rice is not actually white, just regular white rice.
Yes, it's coconut.
It's
It's
made
cooked
with
in coconut.
coconut milk.
So yum.
And then this is soybean cakes, like tempeh, right?
Yeah, that's the tempeh.
Okay.
Tempeh orek.
And these are tahus, like the tofu, and some fried, I think that's
Have you had this before?
No,
Nasi uduk?
it's just sitting there because I like.
You can have a taste.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
That
this
is
is
why.
this is usually a peanut sauce or some
Let's
kind, right?
go.
So this is the cornerstone of every Indonesian nutritious
Yes.
breakfast because it's got everything.
Oh my
it's got
goodness.
protein, it's got carbs.
Yes.
Try a little bit and try a little bit of the sauce and tell us what you think.
All right.
And you I'm sure have nasi lemak, so I want you to kind of compare what you
Yeah.
think.
How
This is the
different.
tempeh
You gotta have
also.
some
That's the tempeh
Oh,
orek.
yes.
Everything.
What tempeh is that, by the way?
Tempeh orek.
Tempeh orek.
So you cook it. I mean, after you fry it, you mix it with kecap manis or sweet soy sauce.
Right.
What's a tempeh ore? What's the difference between tempeh ore and?
It's the way it's prepared.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Go
a
on.
little sweeter than others. What do you think? Yeah, it's the sauce, right? It's a bit of like, is it a peanut sauce?
It's a
I'm
peanut
horrible
sauce.
in
Yes.
the kitchen. That's why I can only describe things the way I think.
Okay, I'll
it's
describe it
Yeah.
for you, Paul. So it's peanut sauce with nasi uduk, which is basically nasi that is usually cooked with water only, but we cook it with coconut milk. And we have the tempeh orek as well. We have the bakwan and we have the tahu goreng, which is the fried tofu.
Right.
And this is one of the typical kind of breakfast that Indonesians would have. This is not the first time you eat nasi uduk, no?
I think this is the first time I had nasi
Oh,
uduk.
I'm so excited.
So the rice itself has this kind
God.
of fragrant, like coconut milk kind of taste to it.
Yeah.
So if you want to wash it down a little
going.
bit, you can try this drink. What do you think that is? Just like a guess.
Just a guess. You can even taste it first.
Botol.
No.
Oh,
No?
I would have thought it was tea too. It looks like tea.
Yeah,
right?
feel free to
It's not.
taste it.
Take a little
And
sip.
then you can decipher.
I don't expect to be eating on live TV.
No, it's okay.
So,
That's,
sorry.
That's
but-
why
No,
we decided
it's
to
fine.
surprise you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is actually called beer. Beer pletok.
Dear?
Beer.
It is not
Beer.
a beer.
It's like a beer.
It is not a beer. It is actually quite the opposite. Where a beer would sometimes be deemed a little less healthy for you.
Yes.
This is actually very healthy for you.
I
Yes.
did not know that,
Yes,
Paul.
beautiful.
As an Indonesian, I didn't even know that.
It's made of ginger, lemongrass, and other spices as well.
Yum.
So this is actually it's an herbal drink that's actually a lot of people drink for health
I
on
see.
a daily basis.
So this is beer peletok. Do you like it? Do you not
Yeah,
like
it's
it?
incredibly fragrant too.
Yeah.
Aw.
It's
And
all
I'm
the
a,
spices.
I'm a big fan of lemongrass.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
All right, this is the last one, and this one should be familiar to you because we have this here, but they also have this in Malaysia.
Okay, go on.
Do you know
Take
what
a
it is?
guess.
You can, and you can try
I'm
to
so
open
bad
it.
at this. People are gonna hate me for this.
Have a look at it.
This is an otak-otak.
Ah, that's actually a good guess.
That's a good guess.
It's
Is it?
shaped-
Yeah,
it is
but
not.
try open it.
Open it first.
I hope it's easy. Do we have a knife? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Do we have a knife?
Can you even, let me try to open it.
I'm gonna be rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
No, I think you can
brute
just,
force it.
Tear it. Tear it. Oh.
I've heard of this, but I've never had the Malaysian
Oh.
version of it.
Believe it or not, I don't think I've ever had this.
At all?
At all.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do either of you know what
Oh,
it's called?
perfect.
What is this called again,
So this
Paul?
is called lepat.
Lepat.
Or
Lepat.
lapat.
Lepat.
Yeah.
Lepat. That's right. Lepat or lepat. Yeah.
What does lepat mean?
Ah, see?
You would have to open
Huh?
and have a taste.
I'm gonna try it.
What is lapat actually?
So it's a glutinous rice cake, guys.
So it's like aram-aram.
Oh.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't think I've had one either. So
Ah, there you
There
go,
you go.
Paul. Oh, oh.
it's got the wrapping is huge.
So this looks like this is actually not with rice, but this is with ketan or sticky rice.
Yeah, it is.
And the inside is not meat or chicken. It's beans
beans.
instead.
It's quite good.
Ah.
Make sure you get the leaf off because I almost
Ooh,
ate
what's this little spot here?
That's the beans.
it. Oh, your red beans.
Try. So this is vegetarian, I guess, or vegan also. So for those of you who are vegetarian vegan, we have just the right snack for you. What do you think?
This is amazing.
Yeah?
Do you like put the peanut sauce on top of it?
You can.
You
I just
can if you
thought of that as well.
like.
That's
Come
actually a
on,
great idea.
let's remix this. Let's go. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
No,
this
not
is
at
why we
all.
brought it on for you because I've always felt like there's so many similarities with Malaysia and Indonesia,
Yes.
but there's also these differences, and I'm very curious to get like a Malaysian's take
Yeah.
on our food. Because,
What would be the equivalent of lapat in Malaysia?
like we have lontong, right? We have lontong.
Yeah, aram-aram.
Aram.
I would say. I remember. I don't know what it's called. No, it's not nasi impit. But I remember it's a version that's like not long like this. Not
Yeah. It's
a shorter-
cylindrical.
Yeah. Nasi impit, it's called. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Better try it.
So nasi impit, yes, exactly. When we
So
go
how's that together? Because I don't think that's ever been done. Leave it to a Malaysian to.
I'm sorry. Am I like offending any Indonesians? right
Oh,
now?
not at all.
No, I love it. So
Right.
I like the fact that he, for lack of a better word, collaborated the nasi uduk with the lepat. So anyway, so speaking of collaborations, we also know that a lot of musicians, we interviewed several for our talk show, Buddy Talk. We interviewed Malaysian musicians,
Did
and
you?
I was so surprised at how in the know they are about our
Indonesian
music. Like,
musicians.
I listen to so and so and so and so all the time,
Yeah.
and vice versa. Like
Yeah.
a lot of Indonesian artists know Malaysian singers
Yes.
as well. So in your case, speaking of collaborations, are there any that you would ever think of? Hey, one day I wouldn't mind collaborating with this person.
To be very honest, I'm still pretty new to the Indonesian music scene, but I know a few musicians, few musician friends that are based in Indonesia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aisha Retno, I know Amir Hermano. I used to work with him. So these are the people that I would love to, work with again sometime in the future. That would be amazing. But also, I just realized Indonesian music scene is so vast and diverse, and everyone's
Yeah.
trying different things, and it's
Yeah.
really great.
Yeah.
Certainly help each other, our respective industries grow. That's for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Alextbh.
Thank you.
Hang on, I want to know your real name because you say it's long.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
It's Alextbh Chiheng.
Alex Bong Chiheng.
Nice
Okay.
name.
Bong
Not
Chiheng
long
would
at
be BCH.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. TBH, yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, TBH.
Well, to BH, I like your
Thank you.
actual name or your stage name. So either way, it works. Thank you so much, Alex, for coming by.
Thank
It's very great to
you.
have you here, and of course, gracing us with that song. Good luck. Available on all digital platforms
Yes.
for us to
Yes.
download. There you go, guys. So get at it.
There we go.
Download it. It's all good.
Because it is all good. We're up for another short break. In the meantime, don't forget to follow our social media accounts if you haven't already, because we're on Instagram, X, and YouTube at C Today News. Stay tuned. Phil.